Rivalries in mixed martial arts are often born in violence, but only the rarest ones survive beyond it. Most fade into history, remembered briefly through highlights or arguments over who won a particular round. Others evolve, refusing to be confined to the cage alone. The rivalry between Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier belongs firmly in that second category. It was never simply about championships or rankings. It was about identity, belief systems, and two men who came to represent opposing visions of greatness in the UFC. Years after their final encounter as fighters, the idea of Jones and Cormier meeting again as trainers feels less like imagination and more like destiny waiting for the right moment.
1 second. Jon Jones, you can't run away from me forever. I'm the kid at the wrestling tournament that is always in your bracket. No matter where you go, boy, I'm coming. You better hurry because I'm getting better.
Jon Jones entered the UFC as something close to a sporting anomaly. His physical attributes were undeniable, but it was his mind that set him apart. He controlled distance and timing with an instinctive understanding that made elite opponents look ordinary. Jones fought as if he were always several moves ahead, adjusting mid-fight with a calm confidence that bordered on unsettling. His rise through the light heavyweight division was not dramatic so much as inevitable, and for years, the division revolved entirely around him.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the future. He is the present and he is the future, and he might be the greatest talent that we've ever seen in the UFC.
Daniel Cormier's path to the top could not have been more different. A former Olympic wrestler who transitioned to mixed martial arts later than most champions, Cormier built his career on discipline, preparation, and resolve. He was never the biggest light heavyweight, never the flashiest striker, and never the most physically imposing athlete in the cage. What he had was belief in work, belief in structure, and belief that effort could overcome disadvantage. Where Jones appeared effortless, Cormier appeared relentless.
Exactly what you gotta do. Oh, he got it done!
Their rivalry ignited the moment they shared a stage. The animosity was immediate and deeply personal. Press conferences were tense, interviews carried an edge, and neither man attempted to disguise his contempt for the other. Jones mocked Cormier's insecurities and poked relentlessly at his pride. Cormier challenged Jones's character, questioning whether greatness without integrity truly mattered. Fans did not simply debate who was the better fighter. They debated who deserved to be considered great at all.
It's real.
Are you disappointed in yourself with a lot of this stuff?
Yeah, I am. I totally am. Yeah.
Is that you wanted to choke?
Almost $1 million off the situation. I'm sure her life's gonna change forever.
When they finally fought at UFC 182, the bout delivered a high-level contest layered with raw emotion. Jones won by unanimous decision, but the fight did nothing to quiet the rivalry. Instead, it deepened it.
46 for the winner by unanimous decision, and still the undisputed UFC light heavyweight.
Their rematch at UFC 214 ended with Jones knocking Cormier out in dramatic fashion, a moment that should have closed the chapter. Instead, it reopened it.
I don't know, man. I thought the fight was going well. I don't even know what happened. It's like I got kicked in the head. Oh, man, I'm so disappointed.
A failed drug test overturned the result, leaving the rivalry suspended in ambiguity, forever contested and emotionally unresolved. Time moved forward, but the shadow of their rivalry remained. Daniel Cormier retired after becoming a two-division champion, achieving a level of success that few fighters ever reach. In retirement, he transitioned seamlessly into a role as analyst, commentator, and mentor. His voice became one of the most trusted in the sport, valued for its honesty, insight, and understanding of the psychological demands of fighting. Cormier no longer needed to prove himself physically, but his competitive instincts never truly left. Jon Jones continued to compete, eventually moving to heavyweight and pursuing new challenges. His career, though marked by brilliance, was also shaped by controversy. Suspensions, failed tests, and personal struggles complicated his legacy, creating a divide between those who saw him as the greatest talent the sport had ever produced and those who questioned the cost of that greatness. In recent years, Jones has spoken more openly about growth, accountability, and the desire to be remembered for more than just wins and losses. If these two men were to meet again as trainers, the environment would be fundamentally different, yet unmistakably familiar. The hostility of their fighting days would be replaced by restraint, shaped by maturity and responsibility. But competition does not vanish with age. It transforms. Standing in opposite corners, Jones and Cormier would once again be locked in a battle, even if their hands never touched.
Champion of the world, Jon!
Cormier, as a trainer, would embody steadiness. His coaching philosophy would reflect the lessons learned through years of high-pressure competition. He understands the value of fundamentals, the importance of conditioning, and the necessity of mental control. Fighters under his guidance would feel prepared, supported, and accountable. Cormier knows how quickly confidence can unravel in the cage, and how crucial it is to maintain composure when momentum shifts. His voice between rounds would be calm and direct, focused on solutions rather than panic.
They're all really good because I sent them to Dagestan and I forgot.
I think that was either Habib or one of the boys. They all came, yeah.
Jones, by contrast, would approach coaching as an extension of his fighting mind. He has always been an innovator, someone who thrives in uncertainty. As a trainer, Jones would encourage adaptability and creativity, urging fighters to read opponents and make adjustments in real time. He would emphasize distance, timing, and psychological pressure, teaching fighters how to impose themselves mentally long before physical damage accumulates. Jones understands that intimidation is not about theatrics, but about presence and control. Seeing Jones and Cormier operate from opposite corners would add layers to any fight. Every exchange inside the cage would feel symbolic. A takedown secured by a Cormier-trained fighter would echo his belief in control, pressure, and structure. A creative strike or unorthodox sequence from a Jones-trained fighter would reflect his faith in innovation and disruption. Cameras would linger on their reactions, capturing subtle nods, tightened expressions, and moments of quiet acknowledgement. What would make this scenario compelling is that it would strip the rivalry down to its purest form. This would no longer be about athletic primes or physical advantages. It would be about understanding, about who truly comprehends the complexities of mixed martial arts well enough to pass that knowledge on. Coaching is exposure. It reveals how deeply a fighter understands the sport beyond instinct and talent.
I tend to err on the side of dad, because that's what's most important to me. But I also try to put the right people in his life that can be coach.
Legacy would loom large over this meeting. Despite his accomplishments, Daniel Cormier's career is often framed in relation to Jon Jones. Fair or not, that comparison has followed him into retirement. Outcoaching Jones would offer a different kind of vindication, one rooted not in physical dominance, but in intellectual mastery. It would allow Cormier to assert that his understanding of the sport stands on its own, independent of past defeats. For Jon Jones, whose greatness has always been accompanied by scrutiny, success as a trainer would reinforce the idea that his brilliance is not accidental or fleeting. Guiding another fighter to victory would suggest that his impact on the sport extends beyond his own body and into the minds of others. It would strengthen the argument that his legacy is built on knowledge as much as natural ability.
It's the same exact technique. Boom.
Back out.
Here.
They already get ready for that.
Or whether I'm fighting against a southpaw, it's the same exact technique. I would do southpaw.
There would be respect between them, but it would remain measured and distant. Time has softened the sharpest edges of their rivalry, but it has not erased the history. They would not seek reconciliation, nor would they indulge old bitterness. Instead, they would coexist in a space defined by mutual recognition and unresolved tension. That balance would give the matchup its quiet intensity. This imagined reunion would also reflect the broader evolution of mixed martial arts. The sport has matured, placing increasing emphasis on coaching, preparation, and long-term development. Fighters today are students as much as competitors. Seeing two of the most influential figures in UFC history guiding the next generation would underscore how rivalries evolve rather than disappear.
From AKA to our own standalone building, we opened in 2022. I live in Gilroy. They love wrestling here. And I knew I needed my own space to kind of have control over what we were doing. That's exactly what we have now.
No punches would be thrown between Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier in this chapter of their story. No judges would render a verdict on their performance. Yet the stakes would feel real. Because for both men, competition has never been just about winning fights. It has always been about proving who truly understands the art, the chaos, and the discipline of mixed martial arts. Standing in opposite corners, voices controlled but eyes sharp, Jones and Cormier would meet again. And in that moment, their rivalry would feel as alive as ever, transformed, refined, and still unfinished. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.